Hi, it's Friday, July 13th. We're out here walking our field this morning, and we've been doing a lot of walking fields this past week, trying to make sure we're getting enough irrigation water on. We've walked behind a lot of center pivots, did some digging, and realized that we've got dry soil down to 6 to the 12-inch depth, and it's just not enough water that's being put on per trip. We've been very hot and dry, ET rates of at least a 1/4 inch per day, good solar radiation, really good growing conditions, but if we're not utilizing the moisture we have in our center pivots, we're not getting enough on, and we're trying to show you a little bit what to do, how to evaluate this.
So in this particular field, the pivot's been run twice. The first application was on the 6th of July, just to make sure the pivot was working good at 3/10. On the 9th of July, which was Monday, it had 0.65 put on. So in total, it's had almost an inch, but the last application was basically 4 days ago at 0.65. So we're going to be out here evaluating where we at with the moisture with that application that we put on.
So what you want to do is take a spade and dig down 10 to 12 inches in a cube and try to pop it out and evaluate the different depths that we have. So up here at the surface, you can see that you want to take the soil in your hand and try to ball it up, pop it around a few times. If it doesn't stay together in a ball, then we don't have enough moisture here, and we've got to get more on per cycle. We
should mention too, Bill, we did have 1/10 of an inch of rain last night,
yeah.
So there is actually a little bit of surface moisture out here.
But 1/10 of an inch wasn't enough to get us where we need to be. So as we're digging through this profile, you want to dig down in the center of the cube, ball that up.
And you can see when I try to ball this up, there's just not enough moisture there, it just keeps crumbling.
And then you go down to the 10 or 12 inch depth, and if that flows through your hands like sand or powder, we're not getting enough on.
We do have, if we were able to dig a bigger pit here, we do have some moisture down below. The idea is that the waterfront of what we're putting on with our irrigation, with our subsoil moisture, making sure those waterfronts meet. If we've got dry bands in here, then our water's not going to work together, and with capillary action, it's not going to be able to pull water through that dry band.
Right, it's like two sponges together, a capillary action. You put a sponge on moisture or water, it's going to suck into the sponge. But if we have two sponges and a dry one in between, we can't get the water from the top sponge to the bottom sponge. And if that happens, then with the sun that we're having and the heat, we're going to keep evaporating out this top surface layer, and it's going to be dry like this, and we don't have enough moisture for this crop if we have the means to irrigate it.
The ET rates that we're having this year, I think, are definitely way higher than maybe what we're used to.
Which is good growing weather.
Yeah, perfect for growing, but we're utilizing a lot of water in this crop. Now, this particular field's only at, V10, V11 corn, but some of these fields that are at tasseled, we're using a lot of water per day, and if we're putting on 0.6 or 0.65 inches every 4 days.
And we lose 1/10 each time because of the wind and evaporation that day that we're irrigating.
That's just what we're seeing this year. That's just not enough. So we really need to look at maybe some deeper waterings, maybe look at some more inch applications, see if we can get this to hold a little bit. Ideally, if we can put it on, hold enough water, say for maybe 4 days, 5 at the most, but with ET rates like this, 4 might be the kind of range that we're in where you're going to have to turn your pivot again.
And we've done that in different places on the farm here. We put on 1 inch of water, so we're going to have some other videos up posted that you'll be able to evaluate what a good soil cube looks like if we have the moisture through the whole profile.